This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, the 144,000, and the great multitude, men and women and children, the Lord will have mercy on in these last days. Shalom. It's your brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And I started with Isaiah the 29th chapter dealing with Esau, because, his secret deep counsels that he has been seeking to hide, from the public, all of his secret meetings, all of his secret agendas, which are all now coming to the forefront. They're all being exposed. They're all, the lies and the wickedness that they're coming to try to deceive the people with is no longer working anymore. All right. And the people are catching on. The people are waking up. And now these devils are desperate, man. All right. Their sorcery, their witchcraft, their misinformation, their their plots and their schemes, are all coming to the light. And, the Lord is exposing all of it, man. All right. And these devils, they can no longer hide themselves. Everything that comes out of their mouth, everything that their agendas, they're all being looked at, very skeptical. Nobody is just buying it hook, line, and sinker anymore. Everybody has come to some understanding of the deep state, of the Illuminati, of these different, the plans of these elites, these billionaires, the real movers and the shakers that control, this earth are all out in the open, and these devils are losing it. They're getting pissed. They're getting desperate to the point now to where all they can do is just start to accuse and label anybody that's not just blindly believing what they're hearing on mainstream media or what they're seeing on the television. People are now going to alternative sources to get information and to get news. And it's, causing a stir, and it's putting fear upon these elites as they're, coming to the realization that ain't nobody buying the bullshit anymore. And now what are they going to do? Now they're about to start to accuse. They're about to start to threaten. And, they're about to eventually, make the internet be a totally government censored institution to where the only information that you can get is going to be what they give you, and that's why we know the famine of the word is soon coming, where they're going to do away with all forms of alternative news media and really put a lockdown on this internet. Because I was reading this article. It says, Al Gore warns people having access to non-mainstream information threatens democracy. You see, and what he's saying in layman terms, so that you can understand, is that it's threatening the agenda of these of the new world order, of these elites. All right. That's what it's threatening. It's threatening the plans that these devils are having. And people are waking up. People are getting information about the jump shot. People are coming to the realization that was BS. They're waking up to the fact that this economy is being systematically destroyed. They're coming to the realization that only a few, that all the so-called conspiracy talks about the Rothschilds and the Illuminati and the 1%ers that own every goddamn thing is eventually coming to pass. People are listening to whistleblowers. Hey, a lot of these, believe it or not, brothers, a lot of these Edomites and these other nations, they're tuning in into the prophets, the men of great millstone. They're listening to what the Hebrew Israelites, what we're out there prophesying and preaching about as far as Esau, Edom, and the wicked and the witchcraft and the plans of these elites, and they're putting all these things together, and they're coming to the realization that, these super elite rich, they do exist and they do have a plan. All right. So I'm going to read some of this. It says, Al Gore says that people having access to information outside. Let me get this real fast. And this is what's happening, Let me get to this. Is Psalms chapter 64, verse 6. It says, I'll start here. It says they 64:5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them, And this is the secret counsel of these elites. This is what that whole cult meeting they're having right now is all about. This is what the World Economic World Economic Forum meetings are all about. You know, this is what a lot of these super elite are meeting with one another, at Davos, the G20 summit, the Bill Gates and the Noah Hararis, the Klaus Schwabs, a lot of these governors and these mayors and these politicians, even the president of the United States, they're all pushing the agenda of these elites out here, and now people are starting to wake up. People are starting to see the wickedness that they're trying to establish what it's really all about. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. You see, and this is what people are coming to people are coming to the realization, and they're getting a lot of this information from alternative news sites. Now that they get some of it from like YouTube, which is becoming we know they're brought and paid for, and they're trying to stamp out as much information of the truth coming out as they can. But even they're failing on a bigger scale. They can get some of it, but they can't get all of it. And then you have the other alternative news sites, that are just dropping, the not mainstream news media. They're giving you the real skinny of what's really going on out here, and these devils, they can't stop it fast enough. You see, it's verse 7. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And this is the problem that these devils are having. Now people are fleeing away from the mainstream news media. People are not believing, the Al Gores and the shit that's coming out of Biden's mouth. Or when you watch Fox News or all these mainstream news media who are brought and paid for by, the powers that be. People are not believing that shit. People are not even watching that shit anymore. People are going to X. They're going to Rumble. They're going to, even pages on YouTube that are, against the powers that be, that are against the system, that are giving you the true information of what's really going on. And now people are fleeing away from the propaganda news, and these devils are pissed. Because that's, the last hold of control that they really have over the minds of these people is that everybody has to tune into the mainstream news media. Don't believe the conspiracy theory. They're telling you, oh, this. It's like basically whatever they say on mainstream news media, people are believing the opposite. And people are finding sources now that are proving that, that their curiosity and what, the mainstream news media is trying to sell them is bullshit, man. You see? And it's all, ultimately through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's time for Esau to be exposed, man. It's time for the, these elites and their agenda to be exposed. And people are waking up and people are catching on and people are coming to the realization that, there really is a real agenda to enslave humanity, man. It says, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doings. See? Look at this. It says, Al Gore says that people having access to information outside of mainstream media sources is a threat to democracy and that social media algorithms ought to be banned. You see? And this is how we know eventually the famine of the word is going to come. This is how we know eventually there's going to be a tight censorship on your ability to get on the internet, to voice your opinion, to leave tweets, to, present particular information or talking points on the internet pretty soon that the mass majority of people can have access to and can hear and judge for themselves. You see, and this is why they're bringing this. You got to have a digital identification to get onto the internet in the near future so that it can be centralized and it can be controlled. And that anytime you spit or you post or you say anything that's outside of the control or the narrative that these elites want to pitch, you can be banned off the internet and deemed a terrorist and locked away or worse. It says, yes, really. Gore made the comment during an appearance at the COP28 climate change hysteria conference in Dubai. And that's another thing that people are not believing. This whole climate hoax. You even got Nobel Prize winners in that field coming out and saying that this whole climate change is not real. It's fabricated. They're lying. And that there's a bigger agenda behind it. It says, listen carefully. He says, democracy is under threat because citizens are no longer all getting the same printed news. Algorithms that governments can't control are threatening democracy. It's like he thinks we're stupid or insane. You see, yeah, and that's ultimately, what they want you to believe, man. basically just shut the hell up, and whatever we tell you is happening, that's what you have to believe. And now he's saying what? That democracy is under threat. No, what's really under threat is the control and the the control of the minds, that these people, that these elites want to have over the average citizen is no longer working, man. It says Gore whined that social media has disrupted the balance that used to exist, that made representative democracy work much better. It says the former vice president said that functioning democracy relied on a shared base of knowledge that serves as a basis for reasoning together collectively, but that social media that is dominated by algorithms upsets this balance. According to Gore, people are being pulled down rabbit holes by algorithms that are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. Goddamn. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. And we know eventually this is what they're going to do. But they're using the fact that people are going down all these different rabbit holes on these different, TikTok and social media, because there is a lot of information. There is a lot of the elites and so-called sea theories and, information like that being shared all over these different platforms, and people are going down these rabbit holes because people are seeing if they want to see if these things are really true. They want to see if the government is truly hijacked and taken over. They want to see if, a lot of the things that the prophets and the men of the Lord that were out there prophesying and speaking are true. They want to see if a lot of these whistleblowers, of the information that they're calling out is true as well. So therefore, people are not tuning in to the brainwashed news media, and they're going down these rabbit holes to see what the hell is truly going on, man. And this devil is upset, and it's upsetting the balance of the control of these elites over the minds of the average person. And don't get me wrong, you got a lot of dumbass people out here who still believe what they see on CNN and on the mainstream news media. But a lot of people are unhooking from that, and they're, looking towards these alternative news sites and getting real information. And people are no longer relying on, this system as the truth. Let me get this. This is mainly for the men of the Lord and the prophets, Let me get this. Let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass that in that day that the remnant of Israel and such are as escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but they shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. You see? And that's what you see a lot of our people doing. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are coming across the prophets and the men of the Lord, the elect. We're ultimately, been on game about Esau and these elites and their agendas. But now we're putting our trust solely back in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and in this truth, the real truth of prophecies in the scriptures, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and and everything that is found within the holy text, man. And now we're like, the hell with Esau, man. We know eventually what he's coming to do. Ultimately, we know he's trying to come with that sea ragamuffin, this digital slave system, to entrap and try to defile the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is not going to be possible. You see? But then you have the other side of it, where the people of this world, these heathens, they're out here waking up to the bullshit of Esau, Edom, and of these governments, like I said, they watch the men of the Lord. A lot of them are realizing that salvation is not for them, but they also are learning when we go into the different councils of the wicked, when we go into the WEF, the plans of these elites, the collapse of the dollar, how they're going to bring in this digital slave system, how they're poisoning the air, the water, the food, their GMOs, how the whole game is rigged and corrupt. We bring out information about that as well. And they're learning, those different avenues of truth from us as well. And like I said, you got a lot of these other mainstream news media sites bringing out this information. But the point is, hey, these devils are, they're scared, man. All right. Look at what he said. This is serious what he said, because this is how all these elites feel. And this is how we know, the shutdown of the internet is coming. We know that a cyber attack is coming, because they're going to have to just shut down this whole shit, because, it's really working against them. The freedom of speech, the freedom of to have, the freedom to have the internet, people to have access to all of this information that they don't really want you to be aware of. It's all going to come under attack, and they're going to shut it down eventually, man. And they're going to make everything be, you got to have the digital passports, the digital ID, the digital permission from these the powers that be to function. He says, according to Gore, people are being pulled down rabbit holes by algorithms that are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. Gore claimed it's an abuse of the public forum and that people were being sucked into echo chambers. If you spend too much time in the echo chamber, what's weaponized is another form of AI, not artificial intelligence, artificial insanity. I'm serious, he added. Yeah, so basically, they don't want you people having access to all this information. That's why that one Rockefeller said the internet should have never been invented, because it's really been the downfall of and the exposing of Esau Edom is this internet. And mainly through it was really created for the prophets to come out and prophesy and to gather the elect of Israel, throughout the four corners of the earth. But it's also being used to expose Esau into, expose a lot of all the bullshit and the lies. This is Jeremiah 49:10. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You see? And that was a major part of Esau's power, was his ability to move in the shadows, to move in secrecy, to have all these different agendas and meetings and secret councils, of their nefarious plans to bring out upon the people. But now through the internet and through whistleblowers, through people, with cameras and cell phones and all this technology, now people are going to these different meetings and they're recording it and they're, sneaking into these things and getting information and listening. And now, they're bringing it into internet and they're posting it on social media, and people are catching wind of all of this shit. And now this devil can't hide himself. The cat is out of the bag. This devil was being exposed. His plans are being exposed. And now he's trying to say that it's as deadly as an AR-15, people having access to this information and being able to have a critical, and critically think and to, see what it truly is and, have an opinion about it, man. It's all the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says his seed is spoiled and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You see? And and these devils, they hurt. They can't stand it. They pissed. And this is why we know that eventually they're gonna bring that cyber attack. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna watch that movie today, Lord willing. It's that new movie on Netflix, and they're showing you how what happened eventually. I guess I don't want to spoil it. I haven't seen it, but I was reading about it. Basically, they show you what happens when they're gonna bring this cyber attack and shut down the whole system, man. And it's to the point now to where this is what this devil is going to have to do, because he can't control. He's losing the information war. He can't control it anymore. So it will be in his best interest to just shut it down completely, and then, let people fall into the chaos and the despair and all hell break loose. And then he can pop back up and play savior and act as if he's figured out the problems. He's worked out all the bugs. And now he has a plan, a new plan in the new world order for peace and safety, which is going to be complete fucking slavery of humanity, man. See, but this devil is he's losing it. This is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. And now through the internet, everybody is seeing your ass, man. People are getting a wind to a lot of the information that you didn't want them to be privy to. And like I said, you got whistleblowers. You got all these different internet sites where people are just dropping the real truth, man. And people are able to make a decision for themselves. Even your own people that were involved in this shit, that was working behind closed doors, that had privy access to this information, are seeing just how wicked and how crazy it is. And the Lord put the spirit on them to risk it all and to come out and to be a whistleblower, man. It was this dude in Australia. I guess he was like a statistician or something. He worked in the government, and he came across a bunch of information dealing with the jump shots and just how it was really, deleting a lot of people. And he came forward and dropped the information, and they arrested his ass. But they eventually had to let him go. And he was, I saw him on Alex Jones, and he was coming out just breaking it down like, I was one of those people. I didn't believe it. I didn't, I never thought that they were this wicked and they were this evil. But as I was, given this information, and I was putting two and two together, and I was looking at the numbers, I was like, this shit's real. They really are fucking people up, man. And he came out and he spilled the beans, man. And you're going to have more and more people like that. But it's just really all the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? The Lord is bringing all of the darkness to the light. It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge it have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. You see? It's all, your pride, man. You know, it's all, it's causing you to fall, man. It's causing you to, you know, be a little sloppy. And now the things that you never thought would happen are happening. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Right. So all this exposure, all of this, the internet, that's really part of the evils that's coming upon you, because you never thought that when you put the internet, that people would never go to this length, that all this, information about you and what you're doing would be exposed. And now the Lord is bringing it all to the light. All right. And you're pissed, you're losing. It says, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, where thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. And you're not going to prevail, because you thought you always had everything under control. You had the information game under control. You had the secrecies and the lies and hiding in the shadows under control. And now through this invention called the internet, all this light is shining on you, who you are. Now everybody, we've come to the realization through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that you're the Edomites, you're the wicked. Now everybody is seeing all of your agenda and your plans, and you can't hide yourself. You can't, you can't backtrack. You can't, you can't use what do they call it? The damage control. You can't damage control, all of the bullshit that is being exposed on you, man. Some of these lies are just such blatant lies that you can't even just come out. I mean, you'll come out and just say, that's not true. But everybody knows it's true. So you're through, you're finished, man. Hey, and the Lord is doing a number on you, man, to the point to where now you're just going to have to come down with that great wrath. Do I have any more? No, that was pretty much it. But yeah, I was reading this article and I was like, look, man, these devils is losing the battle, man. And now you got this devil, saying what he's saying. It just further proves the point that we know that this day, the famine of the word is coming. They're about to, this is why they're going so hard to try to shut down everybody's free speech. And eventually they're just going to have to pull the plug, and bring in this cyber attack to shut down everybody's free access to the internet. You're going to need permission. You're going to have that digital permission to get on there, and you will be tightly monitored. You will be censored, and your speech will be very limited in the future on the internet on what you can say. So I just wanted to go into that, just further showing you just how closer we are getting to more prophecy being fulfilled. And I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit on me and do this lesson. Lord willing, you are edified. To the next one, Shalom.